Hello everyone, Meep here. Welcome back to another video. So a couple of weeks ago, I reviewed a book called Story Thieves, and I absolutely hated it. So I decided to get the second one. So here I am today reviewing Story Thieves, The Stolen Chapters, and this one really surprised me. So without further ado, let's get into it. So Story Thieves, The Stolen Chapters has 354 pages, and I would just say that it's kind of a fantasy, but it's also a mystery as well. So we're not really sure what happens at the start of the book. See, a couple of chapters from the start have been stolen, so we have no idea what's happened previously. And neither do Owen and Keel, because Keel's magic stuff is gone, and also they have no idea what's happened before. And also they don't know where Bethany is, and we learn that Bethany is stuck in a room that's going to be filling up with water in 2 hours, and she's going to drown. And Owen and Keel have to find and save her, and also they have to figure out who this kid with a Sherlock Holmes hat and a question mark mask, who he really is, and they have to try to stop him because it seems like he's becoming a villain. One thing that I didn't like was that this book, the sequel, was based entirely off of a plot hole in the first book. See, Sherlock Holmes was saved by a magical flying man in the first one, which we obviously know was one of the main characters, just skipping through books. And so the great-great-great-grand something of Sherlock Holmes, which is Doyle Holmes, he's trying to find this person, so he's read about somebody, a magical flying man, in Story Thieves, which actually exists in his universe. He's trying to find Owen, and he's basically also trying to steal Bethany's powers so that he can jump into all of the books and solve all of the mysteries before they've even happened to make up for this one mystery that Sherlock Holmes could never solve. Surprisingly, one thing that I did like about the book was the book itself. I mean, it had a really good plot twist at the end. It had a couple of plot twists in there, and even though it was based entirely off a plot hole, it was still really good nevertheless, and I would have been fine with this as the last book in this series. I don't know necessarily about a standalone book, but it was really surprising about how good it was, and I don't think that I would verify it, but it would definitely be neutral for me. So unfortunately, the first book is holding this one back. See, if I just read the first one, not to review it or anything, I would have thought that it would be really, really bad. And then I wouldn't have read the second one, even though that I knew that there was a second one. And now me, being a book reviewer, I wanted to read the second one to see if it was actually going to be good. And surprisingly, it sort of was to some extent. But if I wasn't reviewing books, then I never would have stumbled upon this second book. And that's sort of the problem, that if the first one would have been better, then I think that I would have actually read the second book just to enjoy it. But the only reason that I'm reviewing it right now is because of the content, and I never would have gotten past the first book otherwise. So is this book verified, neutral, or spoiled? Unfortunately, I have to say that it was spoiled, although I did like it a lot better than the first one, and the only reason that I said it was spoiled because of how bad the first one is. I mean, of course, I never would have come across this one if I wasn't just reviewing it for the good content. And actually, if the first one wasn't that bad, then I would definitely say that it would be neutral. But since the first one was, and of course I never would have stumbled upon the second one or whatever, it just has to be spoiled. And also, I didn't really like that the entire book was based off of a plot hole. And looking on the cover of the third book in the series, it seems like that one is also sort of based off a plot hole, just a much bigger one. Because there's a character that was mentioned in this second one that's now going to be probably a main character in the third one. And also, leave a like on the video if you actually want me to review the third one. And honestly, I might just do it myself, but if this video gets to 10 likes, whenever it gets to 10 likes, I'll review the third Story Thieves. So yeah, I just wish that I could say that this one was neutral, but because of the first one, it just has to be spoiled. That's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like on the video, of course, for the third Story Thieves book review. And also, if you haven't already and you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell so you're notified when my next review comes out.